So you're thinking about moving to Charlottesville, but you're not quite sure where, and Zillow's not helping, Realtor.com is not helping, and your friends have no ideas. They've only heard things, but I'm here to help. So come on, let's look at the 5 best neighborhoods to live near Charlottesville, Virginia. Hey y'all, it's Pam with Living in Charlottesville. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some of your time with me learning about living in Charlottesville. I really appreciate it. If this is your first time, you know what I would love for you to do. Hit that subscribe button, tap the bell. But on another note, make sure that if you have questions, hit the like buttons below if I'm giving you good content. Hit the like button below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your questions are. Let me know what you want to hear about. But also, here's my email, my phone. Make sure you send me a text or shoot me an email or give me a call, and let's talk about how I can help you living in Charlottesville. You go to Reddit, you go to Zillow, you go to Realtor.com. They will give you all the different areas. They will give you a billion homes. Whether or not they're for sale is questionable. But when I looked, I found that niche.com's best places to live near Charlottesville, which would be Albemarle County, is actually most representative of what I personally am seeing as a realtor in Charlottesville, Virginia. So that's where we're going to go today. We're going to look at the 5 best neighborhoods, not individual neighborhoods, because, you know, I mean, a neighborhood can have 5 houses, or a neighborhood could have 200 townhouses. I'm talking about the area, because depending on what you're looking for, you may want to be in a certain neighborhood, but not pinpointed into a certain community, townhouse community or something. Anyways, I hope I'm getting that across to you. So we're going to go 5 top places to live, neighborhoods to live near Charlottesville. So first one, Pantops. Hear about it a lot. It's actually, remember, Pantops is going to be on the east side of Charlottesville. It actually incorporates part of the city of Charlottesville, but really it runs along the borderline, and it's Pantops goes, which you are seeing right now, Pantops borderlines, and it goes all through this beautiful area that is very urban. It's one of the great areas that is so mixed and so diverse. When you look at this map, you can see here is Pantops, and here's Charlottesville. Probably one of the most urban mixture of all, little to no schlep, great area, including recreation services, public services, such as transportation, dog parks, phenomenal location, honestly, for recreation. You can see where it says Dardentow Park. That is actually holds a lot. It's a huge recreation area for Albemarle County. Easy to access if you're if you're living in Pantops. It holds a dog park. It holds tons of fields, and that's actually if you are participating in soccer, or if you have kids participating in soccer, flag football, things like that. Quite often, this is going to be one of the areas that you're going to be playing games in. So that's Dardentow Park. Dardentow Park. Now, what else does Pantops have? And the reason it's so great of an area, it has direct access to water on Rivanna. Yeah, it's Rivanna. It's Riverview Park. Riverview Park is actually a city of Charlottesville but it has a pathway. It's like an asphalt pathway, so it's not sidewalk by any means, but most of it is an asphalt walkway going along the water. Plenty of areas for you to be able to get into the water. Now we're talking maybe 2, maybe 3 feet if you go out in the center. But this is like little splash, like go in, kick around with your kids. All along Riverview Park is this path. It actually goes around and you can cross over and come around the other side. The other thing with Riverview Park is it allows dogs. So it's a fun area for dogs for the same reason it's a fun area for us and for our 2-legged little ones running around, because it's just an open, natural area. I have walked on the paths, I have run on the paths, I've participated in races down in that area. In the summer, it's really, really nice because it's so shady and it's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous. And now I will say in the heat of it all, sometimes it can feel a little stuffy because it doesn't have the airflow, but most of the time it is a welcome respite to be down there and walking and running around. There's also a park. There's a lot going on down there. It's an open, free area. So Riverview Park lets you stroll along and you can see lots of fun stuff to do. So Pantops, what else? Well, because of its location, because it's such a mixed and it's right on the cusp of Charlottesville, you have a lot of options and little schlep factor. So your grocers, you're going to have Food Kitty, you're going to have Giant, you're actually just a hop, skip, and a jump on 250 over to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. So really, really simple. Medical, you can't really get any better, honestly. A lot of my clients who are doing residencies and who are accepting positions at Centera and at the University of Virginia love Pantops because it is a primary access area, meaning that if and when we do get snow, most of the roads, not all, because once you start getting into secondary and then private and third and blah, 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 but most of it's easy access to the primary roads, which are going to be first to be cleared after the interstates and things like that. So a lot of my medical people love Pantops area because it is so close. And so it's close to their job, but what does that mean for you? Well, that means just you can take a bus up to your doctor's appointment, or you can walk to your doctor's appointment. There are sidewalks up and down Pantops, very easy to navigate, tons of restaurants. It is a lot of medical offices, a lot of finance offices, a lot of car dealerships going up Pantops. Housing is very, very mixed use. So this is what I'm talking about as far as the neighborhood being Pantops. It actually incorporates more than physically one neighborhood. So you're going to have places like condos on Pantops. There's a really cool condo community there that has amazing mountain views. That's also primarily set right amongst the medical facility and grocery area. There's a huge townhome community up there with some. It's mixed in that it's had phenomenal builders, and there's some quantity builders too. But that's why you work with me, so that we can make sure that you're taken care of. But then you're also going to have some lovely, when you actually go down 20 on this Pantops area, you're going to start getting into a lot of single family homes. Now I will share this. The ones that are most condensed, places like Cascadia, that's one of the newer ones. It's built out, everything. A lot of that is actually single family homes with very small lots. What kind of small lot? I think the smallest lot I've seen in Cascadia for a single family home is somewhere around 0.08 of an acre, so less than 1/10 of an acre. So anything with that kind of density is obviously your decision. You may want a yard, you may not. I myself, I am done with yards. I am done with leaves. I am done with it all. If I can have somebody do my leaves, it makes me the happiest I ever am during the year. So yes, you can also still find in the Pantops area, especially farther down 20 you go, still several farms, still several large areas that when they become available, people snatch them up because it is such a centrally located area, as you can see. And so it's like being in your own private oasis, but right in the middle of the city. So that is number one, is going to be So that is going to be number one, Pantops. Pantops, number one in niche.com's top 5 places to live. So, neighborhood number 2. Neighborhood number 2 is quite often requested because somebody knows somebody who lives there, or somebody heard that it's the best, or somebody heard the schools were amazing, or whatever it is. Number 2 on niche.com's list is Crozet. Not Crozet, Crozet. And it is a lovely area. Remember, I've mentioned before that Evan Almighty, the movie, was actually filmed in the pre-Old Trail neighborhood. But Crozet is often, people often say, and realtors too, but realtors say it very tongue-in-cheek. This is nothing. People will say, West is best. And they're talking about the Crozet area. Crozet has also been known as the public-private schools. And that's one that actually I heard it being called after I had been a realtor for many years. And somebody said, ooh, I want to go to those. I want to look into some of the housing around the public-private school area. And truly, I was like, what? And it turns out they were talking about Crozet. So whatever your reason, then Crozet is going to be, remember Pantops was east? It's funny because Crozet is west of Charlottesville. Crozet is part of Albemarle, and Crozet will start taking you over towards the Augusta, Stanton area up over the mountain. Why is Crozet such a big deal? Well, so schlep for Crozet is going to be a little increased, but it's not going to be insane, I guess it's not going to be a huge deal. But you're going to have access to Harris Teeter, large national grocery chain, is the primary source. There's also True Value, like an IGA, that's in the original Crozet area, and that is still serviceable. So those are going to be your 2 big ones. You're going to be down the street. To get into Charlottesville, to get to Kroger's, Harris Teeter, any of those, Kroger's, Food Lion, any of those kind of things, is like going to be 15-20 minutes. So it's, again, not a huge thing. So you are going to have schlep factor as far as your larger providers. Walmart, Target, Lowe's, Home Depot, those are all going to make you go 30 to 45 minutes. The funny part is it's probably going to be shorter to go over the mountain into Augusta, where right off of the mountain is a Home Depot, a Kroger's, Lowe's, Cracker Barrel. Remember, Charlottesville doesn't have a Cracker Barrel, so we go to Cracker Barrel there. But it's often quicker and easier, and it's so pretty to go over the mountain and just pop over there. Now, if it's bad weather, you're probably not going to pop over the mountain because I don't think I've ever mentioned, the mountain can get sucked in with bad fog. There are fog lights on it, but if you can avoid, it's best to avoid. Now I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's get back to the 5 best neighborhoods. Number one, Pantops. Number two, Crozet. The other thing with Crozet, you are in the throes of the hospitality industry is the best way to put it. You're not going to be within staggering distance unless you really physically live that close, but you're going to be a quick Uber, quick Lyft, quick ride share from a ton of beautiful, stunning vineyards. One big one would be you'd be just down the street from King Family Vineyards. And that's also one of our summer fabulousness because they hold the polo matches there. So you can sit there and drink Crozet and you can watch polo and be all bougie. So you're in the throes of it. Not a wine connoisseur, that's okay. There are a ton of breweries out there as well, such as Star Hill. Star Hill is a national brand now, but it's actually headquartered and created in Charlottesville. They've been in Crozet for quite a while. They share a building with Music Today, and actually you can see that right here. So you have lots and lots of hospitality options. So Crozet, very, very popular, and that's why it's number 2 on our best places to live near Charlottesville. Number 4 is, drumroll, Piney Mountain. So let me first tell you this. This is why you want somebody who's locally here to tell you there's no such thing as Piney Mountain. But I actually found it on multiple lists. And it's because, again, it's a geographic area. Now, what I did, here's a video of what Piney Mountain, the actual mountain, and so this area has just sort of been dubbed Piney Mountain. But no one has ever called me or any of my associates and said, hey, I want to move to Piney Mountain. Because if they did, we'd be like, okay, that sounds like it might be in North Carolina, probably not here, but it is. So Piney Mountain is 29 North, the 29 North corridor. It's at the edge of Albemarle County. So it's why it's really common and really popular right now, I'm sure is why it's landing on the list, because this area butts up against the Greene County line. It also encompasses the Rivanna Station, so the home for National Ground Intelligence, Department of Defense, a ton of contractors that work with the military, that's included in this area. There's a lot of new construction. Most of the new construction has been townhomes. This townhome community directly across from Rivanna Station is a huge townhome community that also it actually started out with some standalone family homes, but very small lots, very, very small lots. And what they've just done is they've really created a townhouse, huge community, because again, what they find is people who are PCSing to Rivanna Station that may or may not be here for 2+ years. And this is just an easy access, literally less than a quarter of a mile to be on property for DOD and NJIC. So there's everything from much older cottage style Camelot, real sweet little community. And I actually am going to have a listing coming up there soon. Beautiful yards, like a 1/4 acre to up. I think the largest one in that area is about 1/2 acre. Beautiful fenced area, very limited, if at all, HOA. But you get into the townhouses and it is a very active HOA. So again, depending, because both are within 1/2 mile, a mile of Rivanna Station, but depending on what your lifestyle is, if you have a dog, you're probably going to be more interested in a nice a fenced yard that they can run around in and be happy, as opposed to a 3 or 4 story townhouse that if you have mobility issues, you're going to have issues, period, because you're going to have 3 to 4 stories. But anyways, I divert. It is very popular due to the housing cost, schools, and location. So we talked about the housing. You can still find housing in this area, in Piney Mountain area, as low as the mid 200s. That is going to be an existing home that is probably going to be in need of some love, but that's fine. Some people actually adore that. It is not HGTV. Remember that. Again, this is why I am not subtle. So I will remind you of this. Sometimes I actually had someone who was PCSing to Rivanna Station, and his thought, he was the one PCSing, and he had a wife and a dog. But his idea was to buy a very low cost house, and to totally redo it himself. And some of the houses we saw, I actually finally said, look, realistically, you need to remember you are coming into a new contract into this area. And so you're already going to be putting in 10, 12-hour days. You want to save your relationship, and you want to be a happy life, happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy life. Y'all come in and have to do soup to nuts and tear this house down to the studs and live in it while you're working 40, 50, 60 hours. Or if you're a contractor and you're actually just out of Rivanna Station, but you're being shipped overseas and you are physically gone, that is a huge red flag for disaster. So that's what I told them. And we ended on something that was much more moderate, cost a little bit more, but which was actually very good, because they ended up selling and they had done very minimal work to it. So, but everybody was happy. That was the big thing. Everybody was happy. And they didn't have to he didn't have to spend all of his waking moments, and she didn't have to spend all of her waking time taking care of large areas, replumbing, residing, or whatever it is. They didn't have to do all that, and they got to take in some of the areas. So you have to be cautious and work with somebody that knows the area and what's going on. So again, you can find low housing in the 200s, but you can also find a townhouse in the mid to upper 400s. And you can actually find brand new construction. I'm trying to think what all else is up that area. I think right now all the new construction are going to be the townhomes. So, and right now, brand new construction townhomes are starting in the 5s. So whatever you need, whatever you're looking for. There are large employers up in this area. Beyond the Rivanna Station, there's also Emerson, which does a lot of military contracts. They used to be called GE. They were bought by Emerson. So you see a lot of folks. Actually, we have a lot of folks who come from Germany to work at Emerson. It's very easy access to 29 and all the services in that area. And this area will be impacted because this area is also going to be directly serviced with a new, I think this is the area, actually I think it's a little bit farther south, but this area physically for students, there is scheduled to be a new high school on the north end of Albemarle and a new elementary school. So that will directly affect this area as well. So schools are already high, but there is scheduled to be additional schools as well. The variety of homes, small single family, duplexes, a lot of rentals, not necessarily apartments, but a lot of rentals, including townhomes, single family homes. There's an area with duplexes, a lot of rentals in there, and actually those duplexes are very sweet because the neighborhood has aged. So it's an established neighborhood. A lot of the houses are much older. A lot of the duplexes are much older. Beautiful little area, and it could be a great value on the lower end of housing. Not a lot of condos. Like I said, not a lot of apartments, but you're going to have really, really easy access to Food Lion, Harris Teeter, Target, the Charlottesville Albemarle Airport, Cho, and you're in between physically, 29 North, physically in between two different Lowe's and two different Walmarts. So one is on down by on the other side of the Rivanna River, and then up north there's another one up at 33. So either one of those, and we can talk about that too, but I much prefer the Greene County Lowe's. But you're right between two Lowe's and two Walmarts, so that's really, really nice and easy schlep factor. Close to medical services for the entire family, including fur babies. One of the emergency vets is actually located right down the road from Charlottesville Albemarle Airport. So great. And then my vet, which I'll mention shortly, is near that area, and it is the best vet, and I will take an oath on that. But there's a lot of care at soup to nuts for the entire family, whether it's 2 or 4-legged, in Piney Mountain. Please don't ask me for Piney Mountain, just don't. So piggybacking on Piney Mountain, the next one, the number 4 neighborhood for living near Charlottesville, is going to be Hollymead. This one definitely doesn't surprise me. I'm actually surprised this did not come in above Piney Mountain. So the Hollymead area, you can see right here, you can see where Hollymead is, and you can see where Charlottesville is. It actually incorporates, again, a wide variety of housing options in construction date, in property size, the whole gamut. You have everything from brand new construction in Brookwood, which is right down by the Rivanna River, and that is under construction, has apartments, brand new apartments, has townhomes, and it has standalones, and it is nowhere near being close to being built out. I think they might be in like phase, I don't know, 2 or 3. It's more of a quantity builder than So, anyways, moving on from that though, Brookwood is going to be is on the books, and that is that subdivision. Then you also have a brand new subdivision that is going to be right next to it. It's going to be tucked in with Hollymead, the actual neighborhood of Hollymead. It's going to be tucked in right there. That's going to be about 750 new homes. That has not begun yet. Infrastructure has not been put in, has not been cleared, but that is in the future. So you're going to start seeing dirt moving and earth moving probably within the next 12 to 18 months. And then that's going to be built up. Hollymead, fabulous little community. It does have an HOA, but it's not as active of an HOA. Yards are much bigger. The house sizes are really good sizes. Most of them are about 2,000 square feet. There are houses that go upwards. Hollymead sort of circles around. If you imagine Forest Lakes is another one. Forest Lakes is like a rainbow, and Hollymead is tucked in under half of that rainbow. And then this new subdivision I was just talking about that has not even had infrastructure and dirt moved or anything, that's going to be that other little half of under the rainbow. Forest Lakes is fairly large. Forest Lakes is a very active HOA, but they also have a ton of amenities. They have 2 pools. They're active. They participate with the swim team. They have tennis, basketball, play areas, walking paths throughout on the roads and also through the woods so that it can be enjoyed for a full variety. I love running in that area because it is an established area. So you're not like out in the middle of the sun. And now I will also say, because of running or walking in that area, this is Albemarle County. You're not going to find flat. So that is what it is. But that is a really, really nice one. So with Hollymead, you have small one-off neighborhoods or homes. You have small footprint homes, and then you have larger neighborhoods such as Forest Lakes, Brookwood, Hollymead, things like that. But you also have phenomenal access and little to no schlep factor. You're going to be right next to, I think it's called Hollymead Center. That's where Target, Kohl's, Harris Teeter, there's several restaurants, Five Guys. They're putting in a brand new Chipotle up there. PetSmart is up there. All of that is right there with those services. Not a lot of schlep factor. Perfect when you don't want to deal with a lot of the stuff. But your commute time is phenomenal. Even if you're going up north to DC, you're probably looking about 2 hours to go 29 north. Lots of different ways in and out of that area. You can easily go catch 20 and end up on Pantops. You can go down 29, up 29. You can go out towards Earlysville or go into town towards Hydraulic Road, going over by the high school, things like that. So really, really easy place to navigate, and that would be Hollymead. Hollymead. Okay, neighborhood number 5. We're wrapping it up. We had Pantops. We had Crozet, which is funny because it's sort of going north-south anyways. So Pantops, Crozet, Piney Mountain. And then we had Hollymead. Now we're going to Ivy. So Ivy is going to be an interesting one all unto itself. Going out the west side, it is going to be, but this part of Ivy is going to be much older homes. Not offhand, I'm trying to even think if there's any new construction in the Ivy area. None is coming to mind. Few HOAs, a lot of working farms, a lot of horse areas, a lot of larger estates. So it would not be uncommon to find a house that's sitting on an acre, 2 acres, 5 acres. When you're in this area, I would consider Ivy area as like the old money area. So still very 2-lane roads to get in and out. You have everything from 1940s Ramblers to homes that have had a second floor put on them. And there is some new construction, but that new construction is probably 5-10 years old. And there's always going to be a custom brand new construction, because if property becomes available, then people will grab it because they love the Ivy area. So Ivy area, it's just pure HOAs and fewer what I would call true traditional neighborhoods. Little to no sidewalks, and most of it's 2-lane road. There are some areas that people know where they can go park on the side of the road and go running or horseback riding, but in general, it's just not a safe area to be running, walking, horseback riding on the main roads at all. It's very, very car dependent, and it's away from most services. So out of all of the other neighborhoods, I would say the Ivy area is the one with the most schlep factor, because again, physically, it's just a much larger area, and there's no businesses. There are some very small mom and pop sort of pop-ins. If you need to grab a quick gallon of milk or you want to grab a sandwich, but there's not really going to be a grocery store you're going to have to go into a different area for things like that. Home business, agribusinesses, those are the kind of things that you see in Ivy. It's a cool area. It's a beautiful area. So again, but there you go. The 5 best neighborhoods to live near Charlottesville. Let's repeat. Pantops. You've got Crozet. You've got Piney Mountain. You have Hollymead, and then you have Ivy. One of those is probably going to resonate with you. Actually, hopefully several will resonate with you because things pop up and go off quickly. So there we go. The 5 best neighborhoods to live near Charlottesville, according to niche.com. Are you intrigued? Intrigued by 1, 2, 3, all 5? I don't know. Shoot me a note, send me an email, drop me a text, give me a call. Let's talk, let's meet, and let's see if living in Charlottesville is in your future. Until the next video, but hey, it's not that far away. Check out this video.